Hey everyone, it's Tyler Cavalli, Jacob Roth here on KRVN's Sizzling Across Nebraska Red Meat Road Trip as we are venturing up to northern Nebraska to Ainsworth. It's one of our furthest trips of the year as we are venturing there to Husker Meats. We're excited to learn more about that. We went through the beautiful sandhills where obviously there's a lot of Nebraska beef that are roaming the great Nebraska sandhills, and I imagine this will also be a big part of integration into Husker Meats.
No, it's obviously, they're kind of in an area where there's, everywhere in Nebraska there's a lot of cattle kind of in the area, but definitely they're just kind of in a nice little hub for folks to be able to bring stuff into. Excited to learn more, and we say it every time when we're going on these long road trips. Pastures look great.
Yeah.
Everything looks great, whether it's growing on sand, dirt, doesn't matter. It all looks really green, really nice this year, which is a nice luxury for the cattle roaming around. But excited to learn more about Husker Meats here in Ainsworth.
Green and lush, that is for sure. Thanks to our great sponsors, the Nebraska Cattleman, Cross Diamond Cattle, Cross Diamond Meats in Bertrand, and of course the Nebraska Beef Council. So let's go learn more about Husker Meats up here in Ainsworth. All right, we are talking to Jim Pinney, who is the owner of Husker Meats here in Ainsworth, Nebraska, as we continue our KRVN Sizzling Across Nebraska. All right, Jim, what a spot you got up here. It's a really unique spot, but let's talk about rewinding all the way back to your guys' history. You've been in business since the 50s, right?
Well, the plant's been here since the 50s. I've been here since about 2014.
Okay. So talk about then your decision to take over 2014 and the history of this place.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank you guys for coming. We appreciate up here on the Sandhills getting all the folks that could come up and see what we're about. So thank you. But yes, I grew up here in the Sandhills. Went down to Kansas State University, graduated there in meat science. I really like ranching. I like the cattle business, and I also like the meat business. So we used my meat science degree, went ahead and purchased a plant. Now I've it's kind of a unique thing, I think, that we have the animals. We go from embryo transfers clear to your plate, and we can retain that animal. So it's really gratifying. It's a lot of work, but it's kind of gratifying to see we can put out a good product.
Well, talk about Husker Meats. Again, you mentioned since 2014 you've had it, but it's been here for a long time in this region, right? Sandhills country, within the Ainsworth area as well. The importance of it for being here for not only the producers, but those that are buying meat.
Yes, it's important. Wish if I could have we were custom exempt there for the first, I think we became federally inspected in 2000. So we were custom exempt. We couldn't really help as much as we can now, but it's a needed thing in our community for our ranchers, for different people to be able to come in and get their animal processed. And then now as we've expanded over the years and we're federal, we put a lot of farm-to-table animals through, beef as well as pork, and it's a great opportunity for folks.
And talk about the importance of the federally inspected part and why that's important for you guys and maybe different from other meat processors.
Well, it gives us the opportunity to help our community more because we can actually go to the grocery store, and we've got meat in both grocery stores here in Ainsworth, so they can actually get a product. If we happen to get into a thing where we have a great big demand for hammer or something, and it gets very high priced, I think I can help them out with our, we can all as a community get together and work with that price. So I can actually provide a very, very good product without having to buy the whole animal. That's another point. They can purchase a bundle or they can purchase a small amount, and it'll be the same quality as if they brought their own in, because from the farm to table type operation, we don't go out and get confinement animals, do things like that. It's all pretty much farm ranched animals that we process.
It's interesting. We've talked about it with other processors about, being inspected, federally inspected. But we never really broke down, what does an inspector do, right? What is that? What is an average day, or what do they do when they're here at Husker Meats?
Well, the inspector I feel a lot of people are really scared of them. They're scared of the USDA. There is a lot of paperwork. It can be done. It's fairly simple to do. It gives you the opportunity of just a whole nother avenue. The inspector is assigned to you. from the USDA, and they come and they look and see your operation. Make sure we all want to put out, and I think everybody's goal is to put out a wholesome product. So that's why they're here. And I want to put out a wholesome product. So we're in agreement on that. It's some of the little aspects that we have to, that we have to work out. Now, back a period of time, a long time ago, they didn't have what they call a HACCP plan. A HACCP plan now enables the inspector and the person that owns the place or the person that's operating to be able to work together on common ground. The HACCP says you're going to do it this way, and it's agreed on by both parties, the government and the owner. And so when that is not in compliance, or if it is in compliance and the inspection says it's not, we can go back and review that and say, hey, look, there it is. And so it makes it a lot simpler. It needs to have a lot of common sense in it, and it most of the time does, but it makes it a real good working atmosphere and to try to put out a wholesome product. That's why we're all here. We're a robust, humane handling plant also. We've got the robust, they come in and give us the certification for robust. That means that we specially treat our animals well when they're handled. All through the process. So, they have water in the pen. We use a prod. We document when we use a prod. We do all kinds of different things to try to help keep the animals safe and happy. So.
Yeah, and as we kind of continue our conversation here today in Ainsworth with the folks at Husker Meats, kind of talk a little bit more, Jim, about what your kind of average week looks like in terms of what comes through your doors, because there's ups and downs to kind of every processor, but what kind of critters come through your doors usually? Is it only beef, or do you kind of brought up hogs as well, and what does that breakdown usually look like?
Well, we have a lot of different things going on here. Amazing amount of different things. Okay, sometimes I pull my hair out amount of things, but we could be doing anything from in the fall we do a lot of probably more hogs and cattle. We've got a fairly decent population of South African folks that love their lambs, and so we do a lot of lambs. We do some goats. There again, are we going to be federal today, or are we going to be custom exempt? So we've got two ways to go there. Are we going to do some cooking today? We may, like yesterday, we cooked 250 pounds of bratwurst. This morning I cooked 100 and some pounds of bacon and some more bratwurst. Okay, we processed 2 cattle today. Today's kind of a slow week. We're going to process about 3 cattle. Now, next week I think we've got close to 16. So we process every day. So that helps us out a lot of, back a little while ago, and believe it or not, we were really covered under too, as far as people needing to get in. But anymore, the way we're trying to do this to work for the public's best interest is to process every day. So we slaughter every day. So we're out probably 2 to 3 weeks on getting somebody in. A lot of people are really amazed at that, but that comes from processing every day. So and like I say, on a certain day we may do some hogs and then cattle in the afternoon, or it just really varies.
Yeah, and you brought up kind of the lamb and the goat, the different types of animals that aren't as traditional. Are those under the USDA side as well, or are those going to be the custom exempt side? Are you able to do both?
No, we can do here. We've kept adding. We always try to keep adding here something new, something different to keep our avenues all open. We can do beef, lamb, goats. We can do hogs. We can do rabbits, all under federal inspection. Now we go on to the federal inspection that's not paid for. We get it. They will inspect it for us, but the customer has to pay for it, and that'd be such things as buffalo. We do some of those. Your yaks, a lot of different animals like that. Deer. Farm deer, not wild deer. But anyway, yeah, we're probably I think there's 2 or 3 in the nation that can actually federally inspect a rabbit, and we're one of them.
How many rabbits are you doing, in fact?
Not very many. Maybe 30, 40 a year.
That's more than I would have ever imagined. I mean, where do you get rabbit? I mean, are these people that are just raising a rabbit and consuming it themselves?
Several local producers have them. And so we go ahead and purchase the rabbits. We use a lot of rabbit meat. If you if you mess with it, it's very, very, very. The texture is there's not much taste to it. It's a little bit like chicken. It's a real pleasant meat. So if you make a snack stick out of rabbit, it works very well because whatever seasoning you use, it'll go right to the seasoning. So the rabbit doesn't mess it up.
You never had rabbit, Tyler?
I think I've had it like once or twice, but I don't remember it sticking in my mind.
Yeah, no, farm rabbits is definitely a thing that it's not as crazy as Tyler made it sound.
Okay.
Right,
But the USDA aspect, as you said, that is a little bit
out here shooting rabbits. No,
that is a little bit more unique there when it comes to the USDA inspection. We kind of talked about it as we were kind of making our way through, as you were kind enough to give us a tour before we stepped in here. That's where we're all dressed up for folks watching the video. Talk a little bit about kind of a new way that you're keeping everything clean as you're kind of on the forefront of that technology and trying to be ahead of things here at Husker Meats.
Yes. So we've started with an ozone. It's a liquid ozone machine, and we use that. We're one of the very few that are using it on our final rinse on our carcasses. We also use it to sanitize through the cutting floor, sanitize, in our mop bucket, sanitize through the drains, things like that with it. So it's very interesting. I don't know a whole lot about it. We've only been, like I said, we've only been going about 6 months with it. But we've been doing our testing, and so far all of our testing's come back negative. So we're really, really thinking it's going to be a great deal. Also, one other thing I want to add on those carcasses, and I think you saw that, the carcasses we treat with that, they don't, the lactic acid turns them a little bit. It'll turn, it doesn't like blood very good, so it'll turn those dark. With the ozone, it actually adds oxygen to it, so it actually fluffs it up and makes the carcass look good.
No, definitely. It was a noticeable part that I'm glad you brought up, that those carcasses did look brighter, if that's the right word to put on it. It was definitely an interesting thing to see there. As we're kind of continuing our conversation, there's a lot of things that you're juggling going on here. What does the breakdown look like when it comes to the retail side as opposed to the doing full critters for full half beefs or quarter beefs for people? How do you feel like that breakdown usually is, and has that changed since 2020?
Yes, it's definitely changed. Your retail probably has exploded a little bit more. It kind of comes back even though when you're looking at winter, summer, more in the winter, you're doing more of the custom exempt. You come to Memorial Day and the barbecue season happens, and everybody wants brats and they want a hamburger, and away you go on the retail. So we do as per se, I'd hate to mix it to what percent it is. We'll go mainly in the winter more. We're doing more carcasses, that type of thing. And in the summer, we're probably doing more in the retail. So another thing coming up toward, I've kind of lost it. School got out, but toward fall here, we do around 17 different schools. We do their lunch programs. And so I thought I'd throw that in for you guys because it's another little aspect that we really enjoy.
Keeping it local, that's important for sure. Something that was unique is last year's winner of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program, because you can win, by the way, as we've kind of mentioned casually here at times, by stopping all the locations. Did receive some cash and decided to spend a lot of that, or pretty much all of that, here at Husker Meats. That's going to be pretty cool for you guys.
That was great. They called up and said, we want to make an order. And of course, folks can do that. We have a lot of folks from out of our area call for meat bundles. And basically what we did was made them a bundle. Mm-hmm. And so they came for their bundle, and we got it all out around the box, and we got them the couple together and took a picture, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. And they've come back since, to buy meat. So anyway, and I think they got qualified again this year. So.
and to that extent, why is it important to be a part of the Nebraska Beef Passport Program?
It's very important, I feel, to promote our beef, to promote that we're here, we're able to service the community, we're able to service other customers outside the community. It's anytime we can speak good about beef and get it out there. Hey, I'm all for it.
And it's all Nebraska local beef.
Right. It's all local, farm to table. Nothing better.
All right, as we wrap things up, we always ask, whoever we're talking to, the different locations, we, as part of the Red Meat Road Trip, are trying different meats. If somebody was stopping in like us today, and we're saying, what should I try here? Even if it's just a quick snack stick, whatever it may be, or a steak, what would you recommend?
Well, they can try a lot of different things. We've got 4 varieties of bacon. That's a new type of thing we have. We've got probably 7 to 9 varieties of brats. We've got 7, 8 different varieties of sticks. We've always got a good ribeye.
Yeah.
And even if they want some lean, good hamburger, we make a holy smoked sausage that we've got in about 7 different grocery stores that they've picked too. So the people that we've had through and experiences seeing most of them like the sticks.
Okay.
The sticks are handy. Hey, they can eat them quick. Mm-hmm. They're cooked and they go down the road. We sell them as a frozen product. They go down the road, they thaw, so throw them in the dash. You eat them in 20 minutes, Sure enough. And then they get to eat the sticks. And so they get kind of instant gratification.
Just no rabbit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No.
The dash thawing may or may not have happened a couple times here on the Red Meat Road Trip for sure.
All right, as we're wrapping things up here, Jim, talk about your hours and the location here in Ainsworth.
Okay, we're here at 740 North Old Highway 7, State Department, just head north, and we're usually here from 8 to 5. So,
and is that every single day, or are you guys open specific days?
Monday to Friday.
Okay.
Yep. And you can call us. We work with you. Like I said before, we have a ranch out south of Wood Lake, Nebraska. We run about 500 head of cows. So my son's out there, my dad, and so I'm the guy from town that comes out on the weekend. So anyway, but yeah, it keeps us busy.
And so the number to call, and again, this is not only for people that want to stop as part of the Beef Passport program, but if they wanted to get their beef in here as well, how can they get a hold of you?
Sure. They call 402-382-3663, or it's real easy, 382-FOOD.
I like it.
There you go.
That worked out great.
Keep it very simple. Okay, very good. Well, that's Jim Penny, he's the owner here of Husker Meats here in Ainsworth. Wrapping up the Red Meat Road Trip up here in Ainsworth, part of KRVN's Sizzling across Nebraska at Husker Meats. What a really cool venture up here in Ainsworth, and a unique spot. I think we say that everywhere, and maybe we're overusing that word, but I think at the same time, every spot is so different than the other, and we obviously learned that today.
No, absolutely. And I think one of the other big things that why we keep saying, it's different, it's unique, is because we both kind of talked about it. We expected a lot of the lockers to feel more similar,
yeah,
to feel more like, not the same thing, different day, but just feel closer to each other. But I think each community really, really kind of plays a part into how it feels at each location, and then obviously the facilities themselves vary a whole lot. And I mean, they've got all sorts of cool things going on here. You roll up to the building and it doesn't feel like a place that's innovating necessarily, right, but they're doing all these different things, ozone infused water,
yeah,
and those carcasses
that's
are
cool.
Just crazy how bright. I think I said bright earlier, but it's just such a weird kind of thing where it just works, and it's an innovative thing that they're working on, and stuff happening here right in Ainsworth on the innovation side, and it's just cool.
Yeah, definitely. They've been in business for a long time. Obviously, he's been taking over this business since 2014, but as Jacob mentioned, on the forefront of trying different things, integrating new technology, if you will, and so far it's been working well for Husker Meats as they do a lot of different things, and while it's maybe not the most expansive compared to other stops we've had in terms of the retail spot, right, you still can go in there. And that was one thing we talked with him, is that you could still go in there, and if you want some meats, whether that's sticks, jerky, whatever it may be, or steaks, they can get that for you.
No, it's still an option, and it just is a little bit different because just the space, they don't have this expansive space for a big old retail area, so you just got to go in, talk to them, they'll point you in the right direction, and you still can get those cuts if you're looking for them.
Yeah, definitely check out Husker Meats, and of course get your passport stamped up here in Ainsworth at Husker Meats. Again, thanks to our great sponsors, the Nebraska Beef Council, the Nebraska Cattleman, Cross Diamond Cattle, and Cross Diamond Meats. So again, make sure you get your passport stamped of part of KRVN's Sizzling across Nebraska, and of course the Nebraska Beef Passport Program. Again, he's Jacob Roth. I'm Tyler Cavalli for KRVN Sizzling across Nebraska.